All India Radio presents Morning News. Good morning, I'm Valsa Williams. The headlines. Cabinet approves National Digital Communication Policy 2018, universal broadband connectivity at 50 MB per second to be provided to every citizen. Government hikes customs duty on 19 items including ACs and refrigerators to curb imports of non-essential goods. President Ramnath Kovind clears ordinance to set up a committee to run Medical Council of India until Parliament passes legislation. Prime Minister Narendra Modi awarded with UN's highest environmental award for championing the International Solar Alliance. US President Donald Trump accuses China of interfering in mid-term polls because of his decisions on trade. And in Asia Cup cricket, Bangladesh beat Pakistan by 37 runs in the last Super 4 match at Abu Dhabi to play India in the final tomorrow. The Union Cabinet has approved the National Digital Communication Policy 2018. It aims to provide universal broadband connectivity at 50 megabytes per second to every citizen. It will also provide 1 gigabyte per second connectivity to all Gram Panchayats by 2020 and 10 Gbps by 2022. Briefing reporters in New Delhi after the cabinet meeting yesterday, Communications Minister Manoj Sinha said the policy will attract investment of $100 billion in the digital communication sector. This will also ensure connectivity to all uncovered areas in the country. Mr. Sinha said the policy will create 40 lakh additional jobs in the sector.
ब्रॉडबैंड टू ऑल, सबको ब्रॉडबैंड की सुविधा हो। 40 लाख नए रोजगार इस देश में इस नीति के माध्यम से पैदा होंगे। जीडीपी में टेलीकॉम सेक्टर का जो योगदान है अभी तक 6% मोटे तौर पर रहा है। इस नई पॉलिसी के कारण हम अनुमान कर रहे हैं कि 8% योगदान होगा।
President Ramnath Kovind has given his assent to promulgate an ordinance to set up a committee to run the Medical Council of India, MCI, until Parliament passes the legislation to replace the body with a new commission. Speaking to media in New Delhi, Finance Minister Arun Jaitley said the Cabinet cleared the ordinance, after which the President gave his approval. Mr. Jaitley said since the term of MCI's elected body is ending soon, a need was felt for it to be run by a committee of eminent individuals. The Finance Minister said,
बोर्ड ऑफ गवर्नर्स एमसीआई को रन करेगा, उसके नाम अप्रूव कर दिए सरकार ने। डॉक्टर वीके पॉल एम्स से हैं जो मेंबर नीति आयोग, डॉक्टर रणदीप गुलेरिया डायरेक्टर एम्स, डॉक्टर जगत राम डायरेक्टर पीजीआई चंडीगढ़, डॉक्टर बीएन गंगाधर डायरेक्टर निमहैंस बैंगलोर, डॉक्टर निखिल टैंडन प्रोफेसर डिपार्टमेंट ऑफ एंडोक्रिनोलॉजी एंड मेटाबॉलिज्म एम्स, डॉक्टर एस वेंकटेश डायरेक्टर जनरल हेल्थ सर्विसेज and Dr. Professor Balram Bhargav, Director General ICMR.
The government has increased the customs duty on 19 items including jet fuel, ACs and refrigerators to curb imports of non-essential goods. The move came into effect from midnight last night. The Finance Ministry said the changes aim at narrowing the current account deficit. Our correspondent reports that the government has also announced an import duty of 5% on aviation turbine fuel, which was nil.
Curbing non-essential imports is part of the 5-pronged steps announced by the government to check widening of the current account deficit and capital outflows. The import duty has been doubled to 20% on ACs, refrigerators and washing machines less than 10 kilograms. Besides, the import duty on speakers and radial car tires has been hiked from 10% to 15%, while on footwears it has been increased from 20% to 25%. The other items on which the import duty has been increased include jewellery items, kitchen and tableware, certain plastic goods and suitcases. With Dipendra Kumar's report, this is Sabi Hassan Khan, AIR News.
The centre has approved construction of over 6,26,000 more affordable houses for the benefit of urban poor under the Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana Urban. The Housing and Urban Affairs Ministry said the approval was given in the 38th meeting of the Central Sanctioning and Monitoring Committee held in New Delhi yesterday. More from our correspondent.
The houses have been sanctioned for 11 states. Out of total houses, over 2.34 lakh houses have been sanctioned. For Uttar Pradesh, 1.4 lakh. For Andhra Pradesh, 74,000 for Madhya Pradesh, 50,000 for Bihar, 30,000 for Chhattisgarh and 29,000 for Gujarat. With these sanctioned houses, the cumulative approvals under the Yojana have become over 60 lakh. Considering the extraordinary situation due to heavy flood in Kerala, the ministry has also decided to release over 486 crore rupees under Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana to the state. Gulshan Rawat, News Desk.
The Supreme Court has declared the centre's Aadhaar scheme as constitutionally valid but struck down some of its provisions. A 5-judge constitution bench headed by Chief Justice Deepak Mishra held that Aadhaar would remain mandatory for filing of IT returns and allotment of permanent account number PAN. The bench, however, said it would not be mandatory to link Aadhaar to bank accounts, and telecom service providers cannot seek its linking for mobile connections. The court also said Aadhaar would not be mandatory for school admissions, as also for exams conducted by CBSE, NEET and UGC. It said Aadhaar is meant to help the benefits reach the marginalized sections of society, adding that the scheme is serving a much bigger public interest. In another decision yesterday, the Apex Court declined to refer to a 7-judge bench its 2006 verdict on quota and promotions for SC/ST employees. A 5-judge constitution bench headed by the Chief Justice turned down the centre's plea that overall population of SC/STs be considered for granting quota to them. The verdict came on petitions seeking that a 7-judge bench reconsider the 2006 judgment, which had put conditions for granting quota benefits in job promotions for SC/STs. In Jammu and Kashmir, an unidentified terrorist has been killed in an encounter at Ghazigund area of Anantnag district that broke out early this morning. Security sources said anti-terror operations have been launched at Ghazigund area of Anantnag and Panza and Badgam. A coordinated search operation was also launched in Noorbagh area of Srinagar city in the wee hours today. Details are awaited. This is All India Radio giving you the news. For quick news updates round the clock, follow us on our Twitter handle at AIR News Alerts. Prime Minister Narendra Modi has been awarded the prestigious United Nations Champions of the Earth Award. UN Environment has announced that Mr. Modi and French President Emmanuel Macron have been awarded in the Policy Leadership category for their efforts regarding their International Solar Alliance. The award also recognizes the efforts for promoting new areas of cooperation on environmental action. This includes Mr. Modi's unprecedented pledge to eliminate all single-use plastic in India by 2022. Founded 13 years ago, the annual Champions of the Earth Prize is awarded to outstanding leaders from the government, civil society and the private sector whose actions have had a positive impact on the environment. National Security Advisor Ajit Doval has articulated India's abiding commitment to partner in bilateral, regional and global forums for tackling terrorism. Mr. Doval was participating in a meeting in Iranian capital Tehran yesterday on the threat posed by terrorism, including the Islamic State group, to regional and global peace. In a statement, the External Affairs Ministry said the National Security Advisor highlighted at the meeting the need for disrupting cross-border movement of terrorists and isolating those who support and sponsor terrorism. U.S. President Donald Trump has accused China of interfering in the upcoming midterm elections to damage him politically because of his tough decisions on trade. Speaking at the United Nations Security Council yesterday, Mr. Trump said Beijing does not want him or his Republican Party to win because he is the first president to ever challenge China on trade. Mr. Trump accused the Chinese of election meddling before, but never in such international forum. During his speech before the Council, Chinese Foreign Minister Wang Yi swiftly denied Mr. Trump's accusations, saying that they did not and will not interfere in any country's domestic affairs. The U.S. President, for the first time since taking office, has endorsed a two-state solution as the best way to resolve the conflict between Israel and the Palestinians. After meeting with Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, Mr. Donald Trump told reporters at the UN that he believes that two states, Israel and one for the Palestinians, works best. He said this is his feeling and someone may have a different opinion. Back home in West Bengal, the Field Outreach Bureau Midnapur under the Information and Broadcasting Ministry has organized a special campaign on Swachh Bharat Mission Urban at a Kendriya Vidyalaya in Haldia. A Swachhata pledge was taken by students and teachers of the school on the occasion. It was followed by a detailed seminar where the importance of implementing the Swachh Bharat Abhiyan in a mission mode was discussed. Here is a ground report from our Kolkata correspondent.
The experts, consisting of senior officials of Indian Oil, spoke about different modules of Swachh Bharat Urban Mission by segregation of waste at source and use of the blue and green bins, decentralization of waste management, importance of compositing, how to compose at home, anti-littering, importance of the 3 R's, that is, reduce, reuse and recycle, and its various applications in our daily lives. Later, the students of Kendriya Vidyalaya, Haldia, took part in the cleanliness drive.
My name is Manami Das Adhikari. I am from class 8. The maximum number of diseases are spreading through dirt or anything unhealthy. We have to tell them not to pee here and there.
As part of the program, a slogan writing competition on the theme of Swachh Bharat in both English and Hindi was held, while Field Outreach Bureau also came up with colourful performance on the topic of cleanliness. Sudeep Banerjee, AIR News, Kolkata.
Parakram Parv will be celebrated from tomorrow till Sunday to showcase the courage, valour and sacrifice of Indian Armed Forces. The main event is planned at India Gate Lawns, Rajpath in New Delhi. In Asia Cup cricket, Bangladesh defeated Pakistan by 37 runs in the final Super 4 match at Abu Dhabi last night to set up a summit clash with defending champions India. Opting to bat, Bangladesh made 239, riding on Mushfiqur Rahim's 99 and Mohammad Mithun's 60. They then restricted Pakistan to 202 for 9, courtesy a 4-wicket haul by Mustafizur Rahman. The title clash between India and Bangladesh will be played in Dubai tomorrow. And now for an overview of today's newspapers, it's over to Abhishek Kumar.
Thank you, Valsa. 2 landmark judgments by the Supreme Court dominate the press today. Aadhaar gets SC support. Terms and conditions apply, is the DNA headline. The Asian Age writes, Aadhaar valid, but no phone bank link. Supreme Court gives Aadhaar some privacy. Quips the Indian Express, citing the CGI bench as striking a fair balance between privacy and right to life. More ease of life, but less ease of business, is the Times of India's take, also stating government weighs option to amend UID law. The Economic Times writes, telcos, banks and financial companies may feel the pinch, as bar on eKYC via Aadhaar will push up costs and increase time taken to get new customers. The paper also reports government may bring legal backing to private companies to use Aadhaar. In another historic decision, exclude creamy layer from SC/ST reservations, says Supreme Court, but gives relief on quota and promotions, is the headline in the Times of India. In yet another ruling, Apex Court okays live streaming of public interest cases in pilot test, states the Pioneer. SC to rule today on Babri adultery cases, writes the Times of India. Paper trails at all booths for Fair 2019 polls. The Pioneer cites the Election Commission's decision to procure VVPAT machines for all polling booths for the Lok Sabha elections in 2019 in a move to ensure greater transparency. And finally, if you thought at least the Prime Minister would be spared all call drops, think again. The Times of India reports PM2 faces call drop woes, asks Department of Telecom to find solution. And with that, it's back to you, Valsa.
Thank you, Abhishek. In more news, in the Maldives, the Election Commission has said ruling party is seeking to delay the announcement of official results of the presidential elections in the country. The elections were held on Sunday, in which opposition candidate Ibrahim Mohamed Soli emerged victorious. Ahmad Sharif, the head of the poll body, said the Progressive Party of the Maldives has raised some concerns and asked the Commission to delay the announcement of the official results. And now, before we end the bulletin, the headlines once again. Cabinet approves National Digital Communication Policy 2018, universal broadband connectivity at 50 MB per second to be provided to every citizen. Government hikes customs duty on 19 items including ACs and refrigerators to curb imports of non-essential goods. President Ramnath Kovind clears ordinance to set up a committee to run Medical Council of India until Parliament passes legislation. Prime Minister Narendra Modi awarded UN's highest environmental award for championing the International Solar Alliance. US President Donald Trump accuses China of interfering in midterm polls because of his decisions on trade. And in Asia Cup cricket, Bangladesh beat Pakistan by 37 runs in the last Super 4 match at Abu Dhabi to play India in the final tomorrow. And with that, we end the morning news. Have a nice day.